One aspect of New Year's resolutions that maybe you have kind of overlooked is what people want to do when it comes to advancing their own personal careers that's out there. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are self-employed in a different type of field, or if you just go to an office because you love what you do, maybe it's a small company, or you see a whole bunch of opportunity in advancing the corporate ladder in a larger business entity. There are a whole host of different choices. Or maybe you just think that, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and make a little bit of money. I'm just going to invest in myself. I'm going to be storing up a bit of my nest egg, and I'm just going to tell them, futz it by the time summer rolls around. Everybody has their own different takes, and whatever you want to do in 2023 to advance your lot in life, I'm down for it. As long as you have a goal, as long as you have a plan in place, I hope you execute it. And here's some information and some workplace trends you need to know for 2023. Okay, are you in a good place? Do you think you're in a good place? Or are you just in a bad headspace about this? Maybe this is the best place for you. You just don't see it right now. So maybe we can try to suss some stuff out here. The new year always brings a fresh perspective to our lives and work. And with any fresh start, savvy leaders are identifying strategies to increase productivity, keep their workforce engaged, and help take their business to the next level. Well, I don't personally employ anybody, okay? Don Consuelo, 2 channels, a brand, whatever the heck you want to call it. Okay, I think that's kind of cheesy, hacky, and pathetic. Okay, it's just me. I do all the stuff, all the descriptions, all the thumbnails, all the videos, all the editing, all the posting. It's me, all me, and I'm happy with that. It's just I'm kind of wishing that there were more hours in the day so I could put out more content. I would love to do more on this channel. There's just legitimately only so many hours in the day, and I don't want to be outlining my own schedule because that's kind of ridiculous, but it's all jam-packed, it's all regimented, it's all set up for efficiency. I'm just hoping one day I'm going to wake up and there's going to be 30 hours in the day, because another 6 hours would mean I would take over the internet. You just wait. When I find out a way to make this stuff more efficient, woo, that's what I'm looking forward to. Always looking forward to something better. So let's see. A nuanced look at gender equality. What? No, get women out of the workplace. They belong in the kitchen. Close-knit workforce. That's a joke. That's a joke. And unique ways to engage staff through well-being are just 3 trends we're likely to see in the workplaces in 2023. So, okay, if we can just go ahead and try to suss this out a bit. Gender equality. Okay, so more women in the workforce. Close-knit workforces. Oh, so women just kicking out all the men that are there. And unique ways to engage staff through well-being. Oh, okay, cool. Like all of those Twitter videos in mid to late 2022 that were coming out of all of those adult daycares that were happening. Great. Maybe we can learn things not to do to make your business solvent for the upcoming, even though we're currently in, but once they recognize recession, maybe even depression. 2022, buzzwords including flexible working, prioritizing purpose, and increasing transparency to help leaders better connect with their staff. So what will 2023 bring? Here, I was thinking we are going to get some helpful insights, but maybe we can just laugh at this. Flexible working. Now, if you're hired to do a job, perform it to the best of your abilities to impress anybody that's above you, so that hopefully you can continue to advance, because people will recognize you if you add value. Prioritizing purpose. Yeah, your purpose is to fulfill your job description. And if not, well, prioritize it somewhere else, because somebody definitely will. When it comes to working for yourself, being an entrepreneur, starting a business or whatever, flexible working, that's just going to mean figuring out how to try to make your life more efficient, sussing out and getting rid of all the superfluous things you might do in a day in order to allocate the most hours needed in order to make your business profitable and solvent and get it off the ground. Prioritizing purpose. Yeah, if you're going to be starting anything for yourself, it should be something that you're passionate about. It should be something that you're wanting to accomplish. It might not be selling something that you are passionate about, okay? Because the richest man in Nigeria sells concrete. Do you think he's passionate about concrete, or do you think he's passionate about employing a bunch of people? He's passionate about construction. He's passionate about money. Yeah, that's all fine. That's great. And then transparency to help leaders. Yeah, just be honest. Okay, how about that? I'm not happy here, or I think I'd be better suited over there. Those are conversations that you can be having with your employers, okay? being open and honest with people up and down the ladder as well. So close-knit workforces. Oh boy, strap in. This is going to be cheesy. This time last year, COVID-19 is slowly rearing its head again from a dark, gloomy winter. Sorry, what? Right, 2022. Oh, yeah, right, at the beginning of the year, Omicron. Remember when that was the hotness? Sure thing. Some employees had already started returning to office. Yeah, and the ones that were there, all the Karens that were there, have you got the jab? Did you get the jab? And it's like, no, I don't want blood clots in my legs. But many companies U-turn and sent staff home again. Great. And you're seeing how well that worked out for kids in school, dumber than ever. Fast forward to the present, and a lot has changed in here. People are back in offices. Well, not really. It's just a nice pleasantry you're throwing out there, but not really. Hybrid working has solidified a seismic shift that has happened. Unless you work for an Elon Musk company, and it's like, no, back to offices. We don't pay you to work at home. Just stop it. Go back there. And if you don't want to, well, we'll find people who do want to. What has been the result? While many employees are happier, 65% of businesses says that it's been challenging to boost morale and create a cohesive company culture while people are working remotely. That's funny. People are happier when they don't commiserate with their coworkers, but we have a tough time creating a company culture. I hate all of this talk. Oh my God. This is stuff that happens when you bring in human resources departments. I'm just saying, man, I don't think they had potlucks down at the coal mines back in the 50s. I'm just saying, things have gotten better since then, but then at the same time, there's different problems that have popped up. In 2023, these issues will likely be addressed head on. How can we make hybrid working better for everyone? Get rid of it. I would just say that, man. If you have an office, if you have a place of work where people come in, theoretically, before all of this nonsense kicked off, before you started catering to the weak-minded among us, if you have a place of work, make people come to work there. That's simple as. Or could more full-time or full team meeting days, just get rid of those too. That'll make everybody happier. While people are in the office, so their commuting time is productive. What? It could also mean cultivating a more appealing place to work to ensure that people do come in, they experience the benefits. Yeah, benefits in the form of financial incentives, monetary benefits, health benefits, something like that. Obviously, you know, if there's like a leaky pipe above somebody's desk or something like that, or you have a chair that's falling apart, fix that stuff. But if you're worrying about making sure that the latte machine is properly functioning, or if you have wine on tap, Twitter's old offices, the people who care about that stuff the most are your least productive staff. Okay, there was that tweet. Okay, I covered it on the main channel, especially when Elon was first taking over Twitter. Okay, there was a coder that was down there. He sent out a tweet. Can't verify if he worked there or not, but take him at face value on this. He said, I stayed up. I just slammed whatever, 6 rock stars or 6 Monster energy drinks. I've been up, all night, all working all throughout the hours to improve this one aspect of this one feature on Twitter. I have never felt more fulfilled in my life. I think those are the type of people that you want to cater to. You want to make sure that they are in the best situation in order to achieve the most, because they're going to be productive. If you're worried about all these fringe benefits, okay, what kind of social meeting are we going to have? Okay, are we going to be organizing a special dress-up event? Okay, so every Friday we're going to be wearing company colors, and it's going to be great. If you're more focused on that stuff, you're not needed. Get out, go, beat it, go. You can go ahead and organize a party in the parking lot, okay? I'd consider it around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then about 5 o'clock in the evening. You go ahead and you dance in the parking lot. Go figure that out. Meaningful social impact. Oh boy, this is going to be cancer incarnate. Well, many businesses have focused on corporate social responsibility, which basically means bending over to the leftist mob. In the past few years, some have fallen into the trap of greenwashing, making others believe their company is doing more to protect the environment than it really is. Yeah, that's every large corporation that's out there that's concerned with ESG. More on that on the main channel. Alongside that, the generation now entering the workforce, Gen Z, is prioritizing working in companies that contribute to making the world a better place. Yuck. Actually, the #1 career aspiration for kids, especially in the Western world, that's what I should say, okay, in the first world, what they want to be when they're coming out of high school or going into college, content creators. Do you think YouTube's making the world a better place? I'm just saying, I understand that you're watching this on YouTube, kind of like a real life extrapolation of that meme. It's like, how can you criticize society? You're participating in a society. I understand what I'm doing. Do as I say, not as I do. But joke's on you, this channel isn't monetized, and I just do this out of the goodness of my heart. So for the need for corporate social responsibility grows, how many emotional words do you want to tie into that and need social responsibility? Sir, we're Wendy's. What are you doing here? Companies should focus on what? Should, again, need, should, responsibility, meaningful action taking now to protect our planet. You're trying to cater to Gen Z when they're the smallest population that's going to be coming into your workforce. You can see how all of this stuff deteriorated. All of these fringe ideas becoming corporate mainstays is by pandering to these small special interest groups. This is terrible advice. What are you doing this week, month, or year to make a difference? Not paying attention to any of this stuff, okay? We're acting in accordance with our values, and our values as a company is making money, making sure everybody gets a check at the end of every 2 weeks, bi-monthly, monthly, however you pay everything out. Focusing on this will contribute to a desirable effect in your business. In 2022 Gartner study, more than 30,000 people, 87% said companies should take a public position on societal issues. I don't give a fuck. I ain't hiring those people, okay? Because I have aspirations, lofty aspirations, big aspirations for this channel. This one and everything that I do, I have lofty aspirations for it, okay? I want to have my own media empire. I want to employ people. I want to cover a whole host of topics, employ a bunch of like-minded people. I want to change the social discourse in a certain direction. More truth, more honesty, and more humor. Kind of a return to the old halcyon days of, well, the early 2010s, if we're going to be completely honest, when people were still allowed to crack jokes without any fears of repercussions. I kind of want that stuff. It's kind of like Barstool Sports, but not lame. Something in that form or fashion, but talking about a bunch of different things. That's what I want to do, because I see a gigantic gap in that field. Barstool Sports, you can see what happens, okay? Take a look at some of their programming that's over there, okay? It all started out all well and good, just a bunch of guys just sitting around shooting the crap whenever it comes to sports, and then they started to branch off in a bunch of different directions. They started to employ some people that weren't quite on brand, and now, wow, they produce a bunch of, they definitely produce a bunch of shows, and they serve as an example. Kind of like this article right here, that exact same example. What not to do. How to learn from their mistakes. This is just ridiculous. I don't care what a bunch of activists think, okay? If you follow studies like this, 87% of companies said that they should take a public position on societal issues. That's what Disney does. How did that work out well for them? They just had to fire their CEO in the middle of the night on a Sunday evening while he was at a Elton John concert. They needed to take a position on societal issues. Okay. Focus on well-being. Mental health and burnout have long been a part of the conversation when we discuss improving work and culture surrounding it, especially since the lockdowns. I'm not going to read the rest of this because it's just AIDS, if we're being completely honest. Burnout happens. Burnout happens when you are not being congruent to what you're capable of, what your desires, working for yourself or working for a company. They are not being met. I have worked, no word of a lie, I've created a video every single day. At least one, upwards of 9 or 10 in a day. No joke, no lie. Since, oh my lord, on the main channel, I've had a video out every single day. A vast majority of those have 3 videos a day. And then I started the second channel, so 4 videos a day throughout the week. And then on the weekends, still those 3 videos a day. I flipped over to that in October of 2020, and I have fulfilled that every single day, short of one weekend in 2020 when I had to do some revamps on the channel. And that was still 1 video every single day. No burnout here whatsoever. I am congruent to what I want, what I hope to accomplish, and my hard work is finally paid off, and it finally paid off in 2022, and we are taking over. It's just my opinion on things, okay? But burnout, focus on mental health. Like, yeah, I've worked some menial jobs. I've worked some awful jobs in the past, but I can tell you why that was happening. It was a lack of communications. If you have a purpose, okay, and the place that you're at right now that's causing you stress or anything like that, if he can help you achieve your purpose into the future, you use it for what you can and then just move off to the next thing. You will find purpose. You will find that you will be lacking any sort of burnout very, very quickly once you figure out what you're going to be doing with your life. And if you figure out that, yeah, I just can't hack this stuff, then guess what? Take your crap and leave. Okay, that's always on the table. But I can't leave because I got so many responsibilities. What do you think, huh? I got kids at home. I've got a wife to feed. Do you think they're going to be happier with the short-term loss of you just leaving that job, okay, abdicating that role that you have there, only to move over and piggyback and maneuver to a different role a couple days, a couple of weeks down the line? Or would they be happier with you, making a permanent solution to a temporary problem? I think you can read between the lines on that one. So no, man, I don't buy that whole, oh, you got burnout. And it's like, no, you're just trying to cope. Stop it. Nuanced take on gender equality. Hot take. The experiment that men and women working together in the same workplace has been a catastrophic failure. What do we do with that? Not entirely sure how you go about that. It's kind of like women voting as we're going to get even hotter with these spicy takes. But women voting en masse, take a look at what happened. Take a look at the results of the 2020 midterm elections, or 2022 midterm elections. Sorry, my mistake. Misspoke for a second. The largest voting bloc, okay, for the Democrats were single women. They voted just about 70% in favor of the Democrats. The Republicans cannot win if those numbers continue. Gender equality, not in the way that you're trying to push it. Equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. But that's what all these socially aware companies are trying to push, because the social awareness all comes from the radical left. So no, absolutely not. Leadership investment. Let's figure out what they got here. Never been easy to be in a leadership position. Well, okay. Way to out yourself. Way to self-snitch and saying that you have no leadership qualities. Sucks to suck. But now more than ever, it can be complex to navigate. Leaders already deal with business pressure, budgets, negotiation strategy, and more. Struggle with? Okay, you're already poisoning the well by saying it's not easy to be a leader. Don't be a leader. You should never strive to be a leader. You should just be a cog in the machine, collect your gold watch at the end of the day, and then just, retire into the sunset. Again, these old order ideas that just don't work out anymore, okay? Nobody works at the same place for 50 years, okay? Nobody can retire to their house with 2 cars in the garage, a white picket fence, a dog, and 2.5 children. That doesn't happen anymore. We're smack dab in the middle of the hustle economy world. Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody has an extracurricular gig that's out there. Everybody's a leader in one sense or another. There is some areas that I don't know anything about where I would take a subservient role to somebody who knows a lot more than that. Now, my personality characteristics would, once I become competent in an area, I'm just naturally going to gravitate to a leadership role. It's always how I've been, okay? So I can't empathize with this position that, leadership is hard. So let's continue. I don't need to be derailed any further. This video is long enough. It's just making me angry. They also have to support and lead in communication, transparency, well-being, engagement, inclusion, and equity or equality in every single one of their staff. And now they need to lead change, prioritizing social impact. Their employees and customers need to want and adapting their businesses and changing social landscape. You know what that says right there? Oh my God, this is all the leaders need to pay attention to. I said something at the beginning. There's a way, okay, for you in 2023 to be more efficient in what you do. There is so much superfluous stuff that's in there, okay? Yes, obviously, your subordinates, you need to make sure that they have good well-being, that they're engaged in their job, making sure that they're in the right places, that you're not wasting somebody on a menial position when they're better positioned to doing something better, okay? You need to make sure that those things end up working out appropriately. I've seen that as being a manager and in different departments during my time, shifting people around, okay, maximizing their abilities, getting them engaged in a job that they were thinking about leaving beforehand because they didn't have enough responsibility. You see that. And then inclusion and equality, we know what that's coded for, okay? No, you want the best person for the job, not the most diverse, not the most inclusive, not the most equitable person for the job. No. Get rid of that stuff. There's so much jargon when it comes to these leadership conferences, okay, that they're trying to push on to you. No. Focus on what is best for your business. Focus on what is best for the people that you are surrounded by, the people that you are responsible for, up and down the chain of command. All this stuff is so superfluous, okay? 2023 will be great for you if you make it great for you. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.